Hi everyone, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me today. I have an angel that's been watching out over me, and today I got another letter from that angel talking about the coming digital currency. Yeah, is it the mark of the beast? If it is in fact the mark of the beast of the one world system, yeah, that's a scary thought. According to the Bible, you will not be able to buy or sell unless you take on the mark of the beast. Is this central bank digital currency part of that? Back in September, here on whitehouse.gov, September 16th to be precise, President Biden often summarized his vision for America in one word: possibilities. A digital dollar may seem far-fetched, but modern technology could make it a real possibility. According to my angel, now they don't know if what they were told is in fact true, but paperbacks, paper dollars, will no longer be used or eligible to be used, and they're all going to be burned. I called my bank today and asked them about this digital dollar, and the woman that I talked to said that they talk to the Federal Reserve about once a month, and nothing has been told to them about any digital dollar, and she said that it was fake news. So is she lying to me, or was she in fact ignorant to the fact of this coming digital dollar? Here's a news article I found. It says New York Fed launches digital dollar pilot program with big banks. 9 U.S. financial institutions, including Citibank, Wells Fargo, and MasterCard. Well, the bank that I use, who recently got bought out by First Interstate, the new card they gave me is in fact MasterCard. I was given no prior notice that Great Western, who was my bank for many years, was even going to be sold. I only found out when I went online and everything was frozen because of the transfer to First Interstate. Couldn't access my account. So it says 9 U.S. financial institutions, once again Citibank, Wells Fargo, and MasterCard, launched a pilot program working with the Federal Reserve Bank of New York to test the feasibility of a digital dollar based on the distributed legal tender technology. Participants include BNY Mellon, Citibank, HSBC, MasterCard, PNC Bank, TD Bank, Truist, U.S. Bank, and Wells Fargo. The New York Innovation Center, part of the New York Fed, is also involved. Biden, as we know, has close ties to China. And China is the, evidently, I could be wrong, the first one to start this program. And now other countries are also exploring plans to create their own central bank. We often find out what's coming by what's going on in other countries, and I found this today. Central bank plans to make CBDC the only legal digital tender in Indonesia, says the government. I had heard that Amazon is also looking into this for online sales. Here it says CBDC initiative called Project Gardena will start with the launch of a wholesale digital rupiah for use case of incidences, redemption, and interbank fund transfer, followed by monetary operations and financial market development. The project white paper stated that the third phase will deal with end-to-end transaction between wholesale and retail rupiah users, which means you won't be able to use their dollars anymore. On Harvard Law website, dated October 19th of this year, I found an article. It says, establishing a U.S. central bank digital currency, the right time or too risky? The United States has lagged many countries in pursuing a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. At Harvard Law School, a pair of experts sparred over whether there is an urgent need for the U.S. to catch up. Currently, Singh said both Russia and China have showed both the desire and the capacity to challenge the U.S.-led international order. China has become almost a peer competitor across economic, military, and technological dimensions, and has become the first large economy to introduce a CBDC. All part of that one world system, 9 countries have established CBDCs thus far, and 15 other countries, including China, Russia, and Sweden, currently have pilot programs in place. Altogether, 87 countries have collectively represented 90% of the global GDP, are in some stage of the development of CBDCs. The European Bank is also moving forward with the implementation of its own CBDC, a digital euro, and Dutch banks predicts that central banks collectively represent 1/5 of the world's population will be issuing CBDCs by 2025. Augustin Karsten, general manager of the Bank of International Settlements, explained one of the key motives to create CBDCs at an October 2020 IMF seminar was that we don't know who is issuing $100 bills today. We don't know who is issuing 1,000 pesos today. The key difference with the CBDC is the central bank will have absolute control of the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that central bank liability, and we have the technology to enforce it. No more yard sales, no more panhandling on the streets. Think of the flea markets, different places where you do use cash. By the end of last year, there in China, they had over 261 users, representing about 1/5 of China's population that were using strictly digital currency. Our prostitutes and hookers, and think about the bars where they give tips to the dancers. I guess you won't be able to do that unless you have a digital wallet to give them your tips. No more lying on your taxes. China issued the eCNY directly from its central bank to consumers who set up a digital wallet app that allowed them to buy from vendors by scanning their phones at the point of sale, thereby transferring digital yuan directly from the buyer's government account to the vendors without transaction fees. For those who don't have a smartphone, a British company called Walletmore now offers microchips that are implanted into a person's palm. The buyer makes a payment by placing his hand over the vendor's card reader. My bank holds transactions. I have money coming in from my Social Security, and they often hold it. It doesn't go in sometimes for 3 to 4 days, sometimes for a week. So if I go to purchase something and I don't have credit for that money that for some reason they're just sitting on, it gives me the threat of possibly being overdrawn. Of course, with their digital currency, I probably would not be able to make a purchase or pay a bill until my Social Security goes through or whatever. A lot of us like to have cash because what if the power goes out and the ATM machines aren't working? Yeah, what do you do then? Well, with this digital wallet, you won't have money. They won't allow you to have money. According to the letter I got from my angel, they're going to be burning all that money, all the cash, sometime in January. A central bank digital currency is not a herald call for freedom. Wallen said, it is an authoritarian society it will be used as a means of control. Yeah, let's limit how many items you can buy, how many cartons of, let's say, eggs, or packages of meat, or fruits and vegetables, or cans of soup, or macaroni. Let's limit that, and we could do the limit through the digital currency. Now, if I don't sign up for this, how the heck am I going to pay for my rent? How am I going to pay for my power bill, my phone bill, my internet? Many years ago, I did a video. I was just thinking to myself, I called it my little red hen story, where God is always listening. And I was thinking to myself about, the coming mark of the beast. Won't be able to buy or sell unless you take on that mark. And I was wondering, because I was cooking eggs at the time, I know God will provide. He does provide. I mean, I am so unworthy, and He does provide. And I was thinking, well, my eggs, how would I get my eggs if I can't buy any eggs? And I looked out, seen this distraction. I looked out through my living room window, and there was a chicken looking in my window. And it was like a message to me. I took it as a message from God. He was listening to my thinking, my thoughts. I wasn't praying. I wasn't talking to Him. I was just wondering where God, or how God would bring me my eggs. And it was like God saying, well, I'll just bring you the chicken. So now I'm wondering, how will He provide for my rent? How will He provide for my power bill, my internet, things like that? I know He will provide. I have complete faith He will provide. But for those of you who don't believe in God, I have had multiple instances where God has provided. It's amazing how He watches out for me. Yep, the end times are coming, more prophecy being fulfilled. What are your thoughts? Please put those comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Always be prepared. If you're prepared, you will be safe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.